I decided to become a coach near the end of 2019, and it was because I had pursued success in a couple different sales roles at different companies and actually achieved a lot of the income goals that I had, and I was still unfulfilled and felt still somewhat empty with what I thought success would feel like. So that led me to think about, was there something that I was missing? Was there a greater way I could be spending my time? Was there a way to earn a great income while helping people at the same time? And that's what led me to coaching. I made the jump to coaching after thinking about it long and hard for many weeks, many months, getting as much clarity as I could, understanding through lots of questioning how long it would take to build a book of business, even without having 100% certainty or clarity, deciding that this was what was best and trusting my intuition. Yeah, I had several conversations with Coach Nick about, like, what do I actually need? What do I need to see for me to have the certainty? And that was a great question because I couldn't answer it right away. And it took several conversations to flesh out what it actually was. And also, what I would be, at the time I would have said giving up, because I had a steady income and a steady sales stream at my last position. So there's a certain dollar amount per month that I wanted to make. And I wanted to be able to replace that. And I wanted to know how long it would take me to replace that. So I came up with a number of 6 months, that if I was committed to it and went all out, that I could achieve that. And that helped give me the clarity that I needed to be able to take the leap. It was more than 6 months to replace the income that I was making, that's for sure. The calendar year of 2022, which was my third year of coaching, my second full calendar year of coaching, I had officially replaced the highest ever, any type of sales year that I had ever experienced in my previous 10 years of sales experience. It has to be purpose-driven. If the financials were for my, I don't know, what I might call my lower mind, but what was actually driving the bus was the intangibles of, like, I knew this is what I needed to be doing. I just wanted as much certainty as possible to make sure that I was going to be okay on that journey. This is where I should be. Like, this is what my years of sales, my years of whatever I had been doing previously has led me to pursue, and it feels right for me. It felt most right. It felt challenging. It felt exciting. It felt, I was anxious, but I also knew that it was where I needed to be. I would say it just felt purposeless. It felt selfish. It felt like the way that I was playing somebody else's game. It was more of achieving results for other people versus achieving results for myself, but also within that, being able to achieve results for myself meant that I had to achieve results for the people that I was coaching. At the same time, I also wanted the more meaningful thing to be doing, to be earning money, to be sustaining myself is a better way to put that. Yeah, I wanted to help other people. Tons of doubts. And the most glaring doubt was, could somebody my age do this? Like, how could I actually garner clients that are gonna show up to coaching and be committed to it when, they might be older than I am, or they might have more business experience, or they might actually know more than I know. Could I actually do this? Is this something that I could become a professional coach and actually have influence and make a difference with people? I feel like I understand why I may have thought that at the time, and now I have no doubt that, I'm still always learning, and I'll still never know more than some other people. There's always somebody that's going to know more than me. But it's the principles of coaching that matter, and those are things that I practice every day. Those are things that other people don't practice every day. So to remind them what's possible and to bring them back to the principles, the core principles that successful people embrace, is what I feel like my role is. And I can do that with anybody from, somebody who's just starting out in a sales position to somebody who's run the family business for generations. So there was definitely a grind period where all the questions were answered by me continuing to show up and just trust the process. I kept doing the activities that were within my control and separating the things I didn't have control over. I couldn't control who bought from me or who invested in themselves or who wanted to show up for a mind scan review. And it was by almost a sheer force of will and numbers that I discovered the people who were my type of people, or people who resonated towards coaching more than other, whether that was business lines or where they were in their career. I kind of found my niche and settled into my niche after many, many, many mind scan reviews and connections with people. Failure wasn't really an option for me. I was just going to keep going until I found success. I'd say it's a more selective process in those days where it was maybe not happening as quickly as I would have wanted to. And I'd get more excited by different types of people on my calendar that I had conversations set up with. So then I began to think about, well, what is it about the people that I was excited about talking to? Like, what did they all have in common? Like, they wanted to show up, they wanted to be here, versus me like feeling like I had to pull them along, or like, don't you see this? Like, you need to do this. I like the aha moments when you see the light bulb go on for people. When people begin to do that themselves, it's almost like they know what I'm going to say, and they lead it. They have the conversation with themselves, and they arrive at that destination of like, this is what I need to do, or this is what I need to see on their own. And that's the real indicator that coaching is making an impact, and that that it's sustainable. It's not something that will just wash away after our conversation. It's something that will stick with them beyond our coaching time. I also like how it challenges me. Every conversation, every client, every person is new, is different. Building a conglomeration of resources that, knowing which buttons to push when, and when to back off, and when to, push the accelerator. I really enjoy the challenge of knowing like when to push what buttons and when to like back off. I'd like to have a practice where I have 6 coaches who I'm helping to close deals, to expand and grow their businesses, their coaching practice. And I have a schedule that has flexibility in it for me to work when I want. So there's nuances with that. For example, maybe not start till later in the morning, or be done by 3 p.m., or 1 week a month I'm not actually coaching. So just having the ability to have that flexibility to make those calls. Yeah, the vision in the beginning was more survival mode of building as much revenue as I could and attaining as many clients as possible. And now it's more of a lifestyle. It was always a lifestyle play to like, this is what I wanted to love what I do and earn money doing it. And I still have that vision, but it's more specific now with what that actually looks like. The PAC model, I think what PAC does great is that there's so much support for new coaches and even, veteran coaches to work together. It's a flat model, so there's no reporting into anybody. We all own our own practices, and we can show up to as many coach huddles or interactions with other coaches in the companies as we want. So I like that. It's a deserving model based on gamification that I really enjoy, gamifying success and really specifically identifying what actions we're committed to doing to help grow the company, to help grow our individual practices. And that clarity of activity is something that I think a lot of people and a lot of companies yearn for. I think we get that right. The support system is incredibly helpful for anybody going through something for the first time or experiencing something that might feel uncomfortable. There's a plethora of coaches here who have either been through it already or who can coach to the principles on how to navigate those things. And that's something that I think is desired in corporate America and other types of companies, and I think we do that really well. Yeah, why I like the compensation model is that the longer that you're here and the more you grow your practice, the more piece of the pie that you earn. So for example, the bonus levels are such that you reach a certain level of revenue, you can max it out at a very high level. This is a much higher percentage that makes sense to me because I have access to other coaches and platforms and technology and billing capabilities and invoicing that I would normally otherwise have to worry about myself, whereas this is taken care of, and it's just it's a small trade-off to be part of something bigger than myself, and still earn a large piece of that pie. Access to the coaching community, and what that means to me is, the regularly scheduled coach huddles, hearing what other people are doing, what's been successful for them, where they might need support, so collaboration opportunities on other coaching deals or opportunities that they're working on. It's access to one-on-one time. So during these coach huddles, you hear certain things like, oh, like that's up my alley, or that's my type of person right there. I want to grab more time with them. I think for the most part, coaches here are open to scheduling time and helping other people. And that support system is huge to have when we're, wherever you are in your coaching practice, whether that's just starting out or trying to break through other ceilings. That combined with, like I mentioned earlier, billing and invoicing process, it's getting to a place now to where it's very interactive and easy to use. There's accessibility, and the functionality is increasing. Somebody who's just running their own coaching practice, they have to think about all those things, and it actually prevents them from doing the revenue generating activities or having more influence coaching other people. MindScan is phenomenal. I think it's so interesting, and I get incredible results on a very high percentage of people that I perform reviews with. And just that whole process is right up my alley with where I was before coaching, with trying to understand how my brain is working and what's happening with my thinking, like what's under the hood, has been wired because of the experiences I've had in my life, and how that might be helping me, but also B, preventing me from getting what I want. Absolutely. Knowing what I know now, I would absolutely do it again, meaning have the Pro Advisor Coach experience, because I believe in what we're doing. I believe that we're influencing and changing and evolving the world into this next phase of what organizations and business is all about. There's a much greater purpose to why we exist as a company, what our mission is. I'm just proud to be a part of that, and I know that we're only scratching the surface here. It's just the tip of the iceberg to where our influence is going to be in the business world, and I'm super excited about that. Follow your heart. This is where you're meant to be, and I mean just coaching. Then Pro Advisor Coach, if it feels right to you, then it is, and if it doesn't, then it's not. But if you truly believe in what you're doing and it's aligned with what we're doing, then I think it's about the engagement you'll get out of this, what you put into it. Meaning, if you want to help grow this and grow your own company under the umbrella, the fruits of that labor are going to be so monumental. And it doesn't have to be over a long period of time. And I've been the beneficiary of that within just a couple of years. And like I said, I'm just getting started, and anybody else who's just getting started, dream bigger. Like what else are you capable of? Really, are you limiting what you think you're capable of under the guise of Pro Advisor Coach, and having access to the platform and the tools and the structure and the other coaches who are all phenomenal people as well? What are we actually really capable of? It's warm and welcoming, and it's also very focused. The vast majority of coaches, if not all of them, are open to grabbing time with people, helping people, either whether that's answering their questions or guiding them or even providing coaching. On top of, we get results. There's a clear, measurable return on what our actions are, and we're making a difference under that umbrella. Like, what are you trying to accomplish individually, and how does that align with what the company is trying to accomplish? The retreats are something I look forward to every year, because that's where we fully immerse with each other and we get to know each other on a more personal level. And I think something happens that's magical when we get together like that, because we understand each other's stories and journeys that much more deeply, and I think it causes us to care for each other even more. It bonds us closer together and unites us with our common purpose that much more deeply. It's been a very wild, interesting, crazy, exciting journey that has had so many ebbs and flows. And so just to recognize and be okay with whatever stage that you're in or season that you're in your business, for anyone who might be watching this. And then it always changes, and there's things that you can do, there's things within your power to influence what happens next. That's what I love about being here, is that I can do that in an environment that is welcoming of my perspectives, of what I'm going through, and genuinely cares about my success, not only as a business person, but also just as a person with what I'm going through and what I'm experiencing. So it's something that I really cherish and value, and I'm glad that I'm here.